Good evening, SRL fans, and welcome into the first game of the night. We have a blockbuster Monday lined up for you, and hopefully this one starts us off well. Where we have the Manly Warringah Sea Eagles taking on the North Queensland Cowboys. On paper, looks very, very one-sided, but with the way the Cowboys have been playing recently, no promises that they're just going to roll over. They sort of found their form in recent weeks, and they'll be looking to bring it into this game as well. I am Sticko Balbroa, joined in the box by Anthony MacDonald. Anthony, how do you see this game playing out?
Well, I can see this game going two ways. The Cowboys are definitely resurging in form. They are clawing their way off the bottom of the ladder and are looking like probably the in-form team in that bottom nine. Whereas the Sea Eagles, well, they're just steamrolling all the way to the finals. So it's either going to be a complete blowout or it's going to be one of the closest games we have this round, Snicker.
Yeah, Manly have worked their way into top four, I believe, at the conclusion of last round. And yeah, win, of course, would see them hold their spot there. So that's what they'll be looking to do. Whereas the Cowboys, it's just about win or die territory for them. You're right, they are one of the better teams in the bottom nine, but with the way that the logjam has sort of formed between, well, a little knock on there, the way the logjam's formed between sort of 8 to 12, if you don't start winning your games, you're not going to have a chance to make those finals. And this will be a good start for them as Chaz Dingo gets a little break. Manly, as we saw, a knock on in their second play, never great. Anyway, the Cowboys now camped on the line. They go right out to Jordan Marshall. He plays long ball to Lucas Ducey. Out to Lenny Phillips. Oh, I thought he was going to stroll over untouched, but a great tackle there. Saves what was a certain try now. So they're going to have to go left, and that's where they go. Simon Hunt's going to try and barge over, and I reckon Simon Hunt turned on his back. No. I thought for a moment he's going to score there. We got a double Borsoni referee, I believe. And they've decided that's no try. And I got to say, I agree with them.
If we had a 12 scoring for the first time this round after last week's Muzbets, I would have been spewing.
Yeah, 100%. Anyway, the Cowboys now, they've still got 3 tackles left to work with, and they just take Jordan Marshall with a settler. He's going to be brought down 5 metres out from the line. 2 tackles left now. They go left. Blake Harris plays a little short ball. Simon Hunt wants another crack, but he's held up now, so it'll be down to the kicking. They go to Carl. He 2 passes to Blake Harris, who grubbers it back to Carl. That was a bit of the Cowboys old there, Mac.
Yeah, it looked really weird. Blake was offside, so he had to jump back behind Jack Carl, and then Jack Carl passed it to Blake, and then Blake kicked it into an offside Jack Carl. It was, it's going to be forgettable, let's just put it that way.
Yeah, absolute dog's breakfast. As now Manly are going to look to complete their first head of the game. Matt Harris gets a nice little fend off there, but doesn't make many metres. Brought down in a good tackle. Now they work it out left. Ollie Parche, I thought that was a big hole for him, but he just couldn't quite find it. And instead he's brought down just on the Cowboys side of halfway. So the Cowboys holding them well so far. Bontoff goes wide to Damien Lockie, and it was, of course, him with a great try saver. Only minutes to go. Now he gets his turn with the attack. Manly now out to Ollie Parche. 2 runs from him this set, but they contained him well both times. Very dangerous prop Ollie. So they're going to have to punt here, I reckon, the Manly Warringah Sea Eagles. No, they go for a bomb. Bit of distance on this as well. But Lucas Duce is underneath, and he's quite good under that high ball. In all honesty, he's been a centre for a long time now for the Cowboys, and not many blemishes on his record.
No, and considering this is probably the season for the centres are absolutely exploding across the park. I think he's probably in for a good night tonight, especially when he's up against some of those defenders over there on that left wing.
Yeah, of course, Damien Lockie, the rookie. He's going to have his hands full tonight, as Jordan Marshall also having a bit of a run so far this game. I think that's about his 4th run inside 5 minutes. And now they want 40-20. Lucas Duce kicks it. He's got a nice angle on it. But he doesn't get the bounce. It just sits up, and Freddie Anderson gets it. And he's brought down a pretty good tackle there by the Cowboys left centre. So far, you had to see a big kick return, Mac.
Yeah, it's a little bit scrappy from both teams, really. The first sets of both teams were a bit marred by some errors here and there, and we're already starting to hit that arm wrestle. So if we don't see a little bit more happening, it's not going to be that blowout we had. It's just going to be that arm wrestle, tough footy.
Yeah, I think that's probably the Cowboys' best bet. Just try and match it with the Manly pack there. Much vaunted Manly pack at the moment, although Harris is just absolutely shanked one. Bontoff cleans up his work. And I reckon that's probably a kick he'll never want to see again. Anyway, Bontoff plays it. And they go left. Harris, second take. Much better kick this time. Goes down the wing of Lenny Phillips, who... There we go. There's a little line break from Phillips. And he turns KCK for a bit of a run. KCK had to try and dive and tackle him. Eventually the cover came, but a good start for the Cowboys in there. So we spoke about it. As now Jake Scott gets a nice little line break. Jake Scott's going for the line, and he gets an offload away to Tom Jemison. So the Cowboys are in prime territory here to start the set. 7 minutes gone, yet to see a score in this game. Cahill now goes left out to Pret Love. The vice captain's going to be brought down on the 10-meter line. So they're getting close to the Cowboys over and over. Now they go wide ball again. Caleb J tries to get a little shimmy on, but nothing really happens. He's going to be brought down a couple of meters from the line. Right now to Carl. He plays a long ball out to Jemison. Is he going to be able to crash over the hooker? Turned on his back inside the in goal there. So they're going to have to take it back, face a set defensive line, which is always tough. And they go right to Carl, and he knocks it on, unfortunately.
I was about to say how much the Sea Eagles are missing home. They're having to deal with a bit of humidity up here, but the Cowboys look like they're dealing with their own humidity issues. So as Mobs screams off up the field to get their first tackle.
Yeah, he just steamrolled Justin Monkey there, Mobs. And now Kyle Lewis gets a bit of a break on. Chaz Dingo gooses him. Kyle Lewis into the backfield. The cover gets there just. I think that's Caleb J who made a try-saving tackle in the end, but Manly are right on the attack now. Pache gets it. He's going to try and push forward. There's an offside player who can't help out. We are millimetres from the line there, Ollie Pache. Now they go right. Bontoff gets a long ball out to Ruben Mobs, and the captain scores. He started off with a great run. He finishes it with a try. This is the Manly that we've come to know so far this season.
And Ruben Mobs is doing excellently in that leadership position that he's found himself in there over at the Sea Eagles. I think that's the third time he's scored in 3 weeks there, Snicker.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. Haven't really been paying attention to Manly. In all honesty, just been ticking off their wins. But you're right. Great rookie season from Mob so far. And if this game's anything to go by, they might run away with this one. We're less than 10 minutes in, but I might be calling it.
Oh, we never know. The Cowboys, they're the kings of upset so far this second half of this season.
As in they get upset because they lost so many games.
Oh, well, I mean, if any team can take down the Sea Eagles, it's definitely not those top 8 teams, that's for sure.
Yeah, and the Cowboys, they'll just be sort of looking to shake that one off. It was not the greatest end of the set from them. And then, yeah, back-to-back line breaks never helps. Mobs, Kyle Lewis, and then Mobs again. Unfortunately, the middle defense just got a bit... they lost their connection with each other, and, yeah, too many line breaks now. So, once again, it's Ollie Pache, and there's a line break from him straight away. This is not what the Cowboys need, looking very, very ominous. Their forward's just getting torn apart at the moment, as now Harris gets a run, and he goes for a line break as well. So the Manly boys have found their rhythm. The Cowboys yet to really work into this, and second tackle over halfway already. A great set after points. Kyle Lewis throws a huge pass out to Bontoff, and for the first time this set, we don't see a line break. He's brought down 35 metres out from the line now. They're spread to the right, and that's where they go. Harris, short ball to Ruben Mobs. He's brought down 25 metres out from the line. A big run here, and they'll be in position for a good kick, but no. They throw it forward. Rex Buckingham throws it forward out of dummy half, and the Cowboys have got away with one there.
And that's going to be how the Cowboys win tonight. If they can keep discipline on the ball, the Sea Eagles, they might see a bit of a turnstile defense here. And if the Cowboys can do something with their ball and surprise the Sea Eagles here, they might just jank one.
Yeah, and I think that's what they need to do, just play error-free football, work their way down the field. And, yeah, they're a class team, the Cowboys, when they have the ball. As Jake Scott goes for a gallop, his second line break of the game. And, yeah, when they get into that red zone, when they do kick it, generally works out pretty well. It's just unfortunately they've been dropping it instead of kicking it. But they're going to have another chance here. Kyle to the left. And that's where they go. He puts in a nice scrubber, but Kyle Lewis picks it up, and a great cover defensive tackle there. I think it was Pretlow. I can't see the number. But he saved a 30 or 40 metre run there. But instead now it's Alex Chapman, and it's just line break city at the moment. He offloads to Harris. What do the Cowboys need to do here, Anthony? Because at the moment, their Swiss cheese just holes everywhere in this defensive line.
And it's all through the middle. It's all those forwards and their hooker. I think they're waiting for that halftime, that 20-minute prop rotation to get some fresh legs on the field, because every time the Sea Eagles run out straight up the middle, there's just nothing there.
Yeah, just hold it. Boom! There we go.
There we go. We just
Monkey
need a little bit of commentators' intervention there, Snicker.
Yeah, I like it. Justin Monkey, the captain, says enough's enough. Time for me to take matters into my own hand. And you just sat one down there and forced the knock on, which is absolutely tremendous. Now the Cowboys back on the attack. Only 6 points down here. This could be a big set in the context of this game as Pretlow pushes forward. He's brought down 30, 32 metres out from the line. So if they can just get into that red zone to finish this set, as Dingo, that'll help, and a good run from him. Brought down 20 metres out from the line. So third tackle here for the Cowboys. They got a chance to put some points on the board. Jake's got ball plays out to Monkey, the former vice-captain to the current captain. And Monkey's brought down on the 10-metre line here. So a big couple of plays coming. Marshall takes it. He's going to be out of kicking duties this game. So it'll be Blake Harris. It'll be Jack Carl. I think it's Carl to the left where they're looking. And that's where they go. But instead, Justin Monkey just gets in the way. And I said it was a dog's breakfast before, but let me tell you, that is a dog's breakfast right there.
And the only person being able to put a kick down the field from the Cowboys so far has been their centre. So they really need to sort that out, or they are going to find themselves smothered by this Eagles outfit.
Yeah, they've done well in that they've only had to punt once. They've had a good field position, but when they get into that red zone, they're just sort of going to pieces, aren't they? And yeah, we spoke about error-free football, and they're not showing us that at the moment. As Mobs is going to play it on the 40. Will they look at a 40-20? Yeah, we see him get in position here. And they go to Bontoff, and he's just outside the 40, and that could be a saviour here because that kick looks really good. Dingo gets it just, stays in touch, goes straight past Dom Young before Damien Lockie brings him down. And Dingo, one of the GOAT fullbacks in our game, he's going to have to step up here if the Cowboys are going to get any sort of momentum. As Jake Scott, his knee having the first 20 minutes.
And it's going to be a shame that he's off the field in about 2 or 3 minutes, but I reckon the Cowboys, they're going to be glad because they've got heavy hitters in Williams and Devon coming on, and I reckon they might just have the edge over the Seagulls here with their bench rotations.
Who do the Seagulls have? Farah.
Farah and Palangi.
Yeah, Palangi, yeah. Farah's been around for a long time. He's class, but yeah, Jay Will. He'd start in a lot of teams, I think, so the Cowboys obviously have a strong pack to keep him out. And Simon Hunt's going to play it, and this will only be their second punt of the game. It goes to Jordan Marshall, and that's a nice one from him. Downfield out to Shannon Freeburn, and he's got a bit of space, and he goes for a bit of a gallop there, but Chaz Dingo wraps him up, and he's going to be brought down on the 30-metre line here. So 19 minutes scored in this game, only 6-0. The Cowboys have done well to hold out Manly after they sort of got away to that flyer a couple of sets in a row where they couldn't be stopped. Since then, they've really tightened it up as Harris goes to Mobs. That'll just about be his last run of this stint, Ruben Mobs, and what an effective stint it was. A try, a couple of line breaks, very good from the Tenors. Now, Aaron Beckman gets an offload away. Wow, a lot of passing going on there. Kyle Lewis finds himself in space. Manly, they got a knack of doing that. Since they brought in the big gun, so to speak, at the halfway mark of the season, they played some really nice-looking football, and that's another example of it. Now, Beckman gets yet another offload away to Bontoff. He's going to be brought down on the 10-metre line as the subs come on for Manly. They have a chance for a good kick here, and they swing it right out to Matt Harris. He puts up a bomb. Looks to be a little bit shallow. Lucas Deuce underneath it, but Damien Lockie takes it. But yeah, just with the shallowness, unable to do anything, wrapped up, and it'll be up to the Cowboys now to get out of trouble.
And that's the problem with sort of changing your locks at the end of your set and having to have your lock kick it. It's interesting that tonight, looking on the field, it's could be very different by the end of this first half, but the lead run scorer is the number 7, KCK. He's been kept really quiet so far by the Cowboys. Oh, that's an error.
Yeah, that's a really bad error. I think that's just a circumstance of there's been barely any yardage kick from the Cowboys, so KCK hasn't had those kick returns yet. And I think that's just sort of impacting his moment. And because they're getting the ball like a lot here, there's not a lot of meterage for him to get, so to speak. It's not like he can pick it up on his 10-metre line and run the field. So I think, that was almost a knock-on from Palangi. Yeah, I think he'll inject himself as this game goes on, as will Dingo. The two of them really yet to ignite us. Now Damien Lockie takes the ball, second hit up in this set. He's brought down a metre out from the line. Manly looking ominous right here. They go left now. He plays a long ball out to Kane Chapman-Kenny, and a great tackle out there. I think it was Caleb J. I have to check this team sheet to make sure. But anyway, Bontoff now puts up a kick. That's very well placed. But there's no fullback for the back, and so it goes to Blake Harris. He's in some space here. Blake Harris shut the gate. I reckon he's going to go the distance, coast to coast from the young lock. And out of nowhere, the Cowboys, they're going to be equal.
And isn't that just the selling point for one of those locks?
Speedy locks.
Speedy locks, your half primary locks. He was a gun when he was playing for us all the way back in those Eels days, and he filled in for fullback at the back end of his rookie season. Blake Harris did back in season 4. So the fact that he's sitting here at lock, that is one hell of a feather in the cap there for the Cowboys.
Yeah, and it's since he's gone to lock that the Cowboys have really kicked on. They've put Carl back in the halves along with... Who's their 7?
Jordan Marshall, another Eels boy.
Yeah, Jordan Marshall. Oh, Eels 2.0 at the Cowboys. Are we allowed to say that anymore? Or is that joke
Um,
old now? I'm not sure. Anyway,
it might be a bit old, but it's still got legs on it. The meme.
yeah, but funnily enough, these guys are winning, which is something the Eels couldn't quite accomplish too many times.
Well, and it's interesting because we've got a couple of Eel boys over on the Seagulls as well in Farah and Freeburn. So they might be gone, but their tentacles are still writhing through some of the teams in the SRL today.
Yeah, actually, we have an Eels player as well, Al Matangi, who is probably our best player this season. Anyway, we'll focus back on this game. And it's going to be the Cowboys working out of danger. The try scorer Harris goes to Pretlove in a nice little line break. He's going to be brought down on the 40-meter line. Can they do what Manly did and just go back to back to back in line breaks? Oh, Blake Harris, they are doing it. He's going to get a real nice run there and a tackle break. So Blake Harris has run about 150 meters in his last 2 runs. Very, very dangerous here. Now Simon Hunt goes out to Lucas Deuce. The man who loves his KFC brought down on that 10-meter line. But they're going to be a chance for an attacking kick here at the end of this as Harris gets it again. Andy offloads to Jemison. Jemison looks like he wants to push over here. If they don't get around his legs, I reckon he's scored. Is that another former Eel, Mac?
That's another former Eel. We found him and we brought him up into hooker. And the Cowboys, they grabbed him and look at him there. You don't get a position named after you in the SRL without being absolutely gun at your position there, Snicker.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And there was no shuffle there from Jemison. He just pinned the ears back and fell over the line. And I called a Manly blowout 10 minutes in. And this is what happens in the SRL. The commentators, the players make you eat your words because Blake Harris, there was no fullback at home and you were in the field. And since then, I think that was their first set back, actually, wasn't it? So they've gone back to back.
Yep. And it looks like they are definitely not running out of steam here. So the Seagulls, they haven't lost in about 4 or 5 weeks. We might just have an upset round again on our hands here, Snicker.
Oh, gee, I hope not. Those ones scare me. I get no tips right. and we lose because we're going good at the moment. Anyway, Manly, yeah, not a position they're really familiar with since the half mid-season break, halfway through the season. They've just been dominating teams, and yeah, down by 6 points, 26 minutes in. They're gonna have to pull their sleeves up and get back to work. It was almost like they'd take it a little bit easy after they got up. They just started coasting, and with that, the Cowboys, they're a classy outfit, and they've just found their way to points.
And this is really, really good because if they can win tonight, next week they're up against the Roosters, and everyone was calling that Spoon Bowl. I don't think we'll be calling it Spoon Bowl anymore.
Who's coming last at the moment, actually? Is it still the Roosters or is it Panthers?
Still the Roosters, but from the bottom it goes Roosters, Cowboys, Panthers, Broncos. So the race for the spoon is definitely heating up at the back end of this season.
But you're telling me if they both lose this week, it could be Spoon Bowl next week?
Definitely could be spoon. I'm not gonna plot it in yet, but we need to move that one to Monday Night Football.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. Make it first game on a Wednesday. As Dom Young gets a little break here. Dom Young, a nice run there. Carl had to ankle tap to try and get there. No, sorry, that's not Carl. That is Marshall. Oh no, Eddie Devon with the red mohawk. Sorry, there's just a few players with the red hair on the Cowboys team. But yeah, one thing that the Cowboys will be looking to avoid is the spoon, and you're 100% right. A win here would definitely help them out because the Roosters, they're heating up at the moment as well. And yeah, Manly a bit shell-shocked. Not a good knock on there. As now Caleb J gets a little line break. I reckon this tide's turned, Mac. I reckon the Cowboys, they've got the momentum at the moment.
Yeah, well, we talk about it in chat all the time, how great the Cowboys have and the fun they have both on and off the field, even if they are losing. It looks like it's infecting their on-field play as well, as Devon almost saw goal line straight ahead of him, and it took KCK to take him down there.
Yeah, a bit of a juggle, but then he got there. As now they go left again. It's Jordan Williams. Or is it him with the red mohawk, actually? It's not Eddie Devon. Apologies, yeah. Williams with the red mohawk. As now they go to Pretlove, and some great defense there. Creed Alex Chapman just jumped at him and driven him backwards so he couldn't get close to this line. So they're going to go to Carl now. He's lined up to the right of the ruck. And that's where they go. He's going to bomb. Well, that's very well placed. Dom Young's underneath it, and he takes it comfortably. Unfortunately, just no chases there. And is that a symptom of just how the Cowboys, they just can't quite get it done this season?
I think they're relying on the off the crossbar trick that usually happens at some of those occasions.
That old chestnut. And so it'll be Manly now who have the ball and they're working it out. It's going to be Beckman, and he's been industrious since he's moved to that 11, but he hasn't really put out the big line break numbers that you can see from even Pretlove tonight's been doing a good job, but the likes of Pretlove, the likes of Lachlan McKinnon when he plays there, they do a bit of damage, and Beckman so far has just been a bit more studious. Gets his run meters without much fuss. As Alex Chapman gets a nice little line break there and offload to Jason Farah. So anyway, I'd like to see more from Beckman, hopefully, as this season goes on. As now Buckingham goes out to Harris. He goes to Beckman. There he is. And yeah, he wins his contact almost every tackle, Beckman. He pushes forward, but just doesn't get those big meterage runs. Anyway, Manly now, they go to Bontoff, and he's going to bomb. Looks to be a bit shallow, but do they get the bat back? They do. And this time Buckingham picks it up. So he's done well to make sure Blake Harris doesn't pick that up. But it begs the question, Mac, where was KCK?
That's the second time it happened in a row. It looks like Manly, they're just a little bit off their game tonight. And I'm going to say it again, it's always hard to come up to North Queensland and play against these guys up here. So it must be a stinking hot one down there if you're looking at the weather. It's sometimes you kind of wish for a rainy day like that. That way at least you don't have to worry about the heat.
Yeah, very nice and sunny at the moment. Not a rain cloud in the sky. And it's that dry weather football that both these teams are playing. Manly, of course, throwing it around a lot. Cowboys are doing a bit of damage as well. As Dingo now, I go straight past one, but eventually he's brought down a good tackle. And so it'll be Manly. It'll be the Cowboys to kick out of trouble, and they go to Marshall to do so. And that's a pretty nice kick. He goes down to Dom Young. He's got a bit of clear space ahead of him. What can he do? Straight past one, straight past two, Dom Young. A nice little break there before Jordan Marshall cleaned up his own kick and made that tackle, but he's put Manly in a good position. And Aaron Beckman, there we go. There's the line break I wanted for him. And the offload goes to Matthew Harris, is brought down on our favourite sponsor, TBC Live. Right on that logo, 30 metres out from the Cowboys line. Now they spin it right. Out to Kyle Lewis. Eventually finds his way to Freeburn, and he steps one. Cahill just couldn't make that tackle. Brought down eventually, though, on the 20-metre line. And now Freddie Anderson gets out of half. The Whitehead kid doing all sorts of good things, but just lost the contact immensely. Drew him backwards after the tackle. Now they go left out to Jason Farah, and he's going to be brought down on the 10-metre line. So a promising set from Manly, but they just sort of got stuck about 15 metres out from the line. But they have a chance now to cap it off, and they go the two pass out to Kyle Lewis, and he puts up a very, very nicely placed bomb. He goes to Dom Young, and he's going to be pushed backwards. Man, that KCK was there that time, Anthony. I think that was the time for the back.
Yeah, that might have just been a case of the rookie not really getting his positioning correctly. The kick definitely probably didn't really assist them. It was probably about 2 or 3 meters too short for where they needed it to be. But wouldn't the Cowboys feel great walking into this halftime break ahead at the end of this one?
Yeah, definitely 4 big minutes coming up as Prelim just got absolutely monster there. And yeah, if you're on the Cowboys bench at the moment, you're just hoping, a nice little Jemison shuffle from the man himself. You're just hoping that you can hold this lead into halftime. Manly are going to get 1 set, potentially 2 to finish this as Blake Harris goes down a real short side and throws a forward pass. And
yeah, that was forward by a mile.
That's not pretty from Blake Harris. The try scorer just chanced his arm a little bit too much. And this is exactly what I was going to say you don't want to see from Manly. You don't want to give him any field position going into this halftime, because how often in the SRL do we see a try in the couple of minutes before the break?
I think you can almost bet on it. So the Cowboys, they're going to have to muscle up in defence here, particularly through that middle, which saw so much space happening for the Seagulls earlier in the half.
Yeah, and it was those prop subs that really sort of tightened it up. When they come on, all of a sudden the line breaks stop, which was very, very timely for Cowboys because they were getting torn apart. As now Carlos plays a little inside ball to KCK, and he's going to be brought down here. So this will just about be the last play for Manly. They're going to look to bomb, I would imagine. It's Harris on the left, and that's where they go. And he decides that the kick is not the answer here tonight. He's going to just be tackled 5 metres out from the line.
And again, the Sea Eagles, they just can't get their fifth tackle option ready. So that's definitely something they're going to have to focus on when they come back for the second half.
Yeah, 100%. A minute left in this half. You wouldn't think they'll touch the ball again. And both teams, in all honesty, haven't quite got their fifth tackle options right. It'll be something they'll both want to fix going into the half. As one of the culprits there, Carl, plays a short ball to Jake Scott back on the field for a minute to finish this half. The Cowboys now out to Pretlove, and he almost gets a line break. Creed Alex Chapman brings him down. Fourth tackle, they're not going to look at a 40-20, you wouldn't think. And this will just be the last play for them as Jake Scott gets it. And a nice little bump from him. So comes on and makes an impact immediately. But that'll be it here. 12-6 going into the break. We'll see you soon.
Hey SRL fans, want to support the league further? Join the Simulation Rugby League Patreon. Get exclusive access to additional content, early access to league releases and supporter-only giveaways and upgrades. Whatever you're looking for, we have something for every fan. When you become a Patreon, you're more than just a spectator. You're a crucial part of our team. Your support helps us keep delivering the high-quality matches and content that you love, and it ensures that we can keep the SRL experience growing for fans of all ages. It's super simple. Head to our Patreon page, pick the tier that's right for you, and you're in. Every bit of support helps us grow and makes the SRL an even better place for everyone. Now, back to the game.
Welcome back, SRL fans. We have a blockbuster developing. It's bubbling along quite nicely at the moment. Where the home side, the North Queensland Cowboys, have shocked everyone, me included. And they've taken a 12-6 lead into the break with some real nice football played from both teams so far in this game. Who do you think is going to come out on top after 80 minutes, Anthony?
I think 100% it's going to depend on which team can start acing their fifth tackle options. Both teams really struggled in that first half. Not to get kicks off so much, but getting them off where it matters. And if they can start doing that, I think the Queensland might be able to edge out Manly. But Manly, I wouldn't put them past a comeback here.
Oh, as he's thrown an intercept, Jordan Marshall straight into the hands of Beckman. There wasn't even anyone there for him to pass to in the first place. I'm not sure what he was doing. And one thing that Manly are quite good at recently is their second half. So if they get one here, they could really get a move on us. KCK goes straight through and scores. Speak of it, and it will happen. KCK, you can't keep him out of the game. And Manly have hit back just like that. And really, it's all off the back of that Jordan Marshall intercept.
Yep. And talk about making me eat crow. That man, I said earlier in the first half that the Cowboys were doing really well to keep him out and not really get him the ball. And as you rightly said, Snicko, that wasn't because of any really stellar defense or anything. That's just because they never really got the ball to him. And I think KCK's come out and he is determined to get that Hattie that he's been getting the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, someone told him at halftime that AMAC wants him to see more ball, and look what happens. Touches it in the red zone and scores. I feel like we've seen that one a lot this season. And apparently the Cowboys haven't been watching the tape because that's KCK 101 at the moment. And it means that they're now equal after, 2 minutes in their second half. They've already conceded a try. Not pretty for the home side, and the crowd are not liking it, understandably, of course. And so it'll be Harris to kick off now. And do you reckon that's a changing of the tides, Anthony? Do you reckon Manly going to sort of get the momentum and go downhill from here?
If they can keep going like they have so far this half, they didn't have to get to their fifth tackle option there. And I suppose if you don't have to get to a kick and you can score each time, you don't have to worry about the kick going askew here and there. And it looks like the Cowboys, they've realised that they've lost their lead already and their tackling is back in game.
Yeah, it's almost like if you only take 4 tackles to score, you don't have to worry about a shanked fifth tackle kick, do you? And maybe that's the philosophy both these teams need. Is now Carl Lewis. Oh, no. He throws it straight to Jemison. I thought he was looking for a 40-20, but instead he dug real deep into the line, and too deep, in fact. He threw the ball straight into the North Queensland hooker as Tyreek Hamilton, fresh on the field, is going to be brought down on the 10-metre line. And this could be a chance now for the Cowboys to just jump back into this game. They go to the Engo, fresh on the field also. He gets some nice post-contact meters, but I think Dingo's a danger man. Where is he? They go left out to Carl. He goes to Tyreek Hamilton again. But the rookies push backwards there. Some good defense from Manly so far in this set. It's going to go to Carl now. Is he going to crash over Jack Carl? I think he more... Oh, I couldn't actually tell. We're held up. Okay, we're held up there. So great defense from Manly Warringah. And so it means the Cowboys, they're going to have to kick to a set defensive line. And instead he goes to Murray. He runs straight at Freddie Anderson. And is that one of those fifth tackle options we were talking about, AMAC?
That's one of those fifth tackle options. Again, Murray could have made us eat crow there and did a little shimmy down the sideline and go over for a try, but he did not. And now the Sea Eagles find themselves working their way very handily up the field.
Yeah, I'm just not actually sure what happened there for the Cowboys, but whatever it was did not work as Beckman takes a little run and another offload from him. So he's really sort of got that offload game going. Maybe that's his gameplay. Forget the meters, just go the offloads and try and create breaks that way. As Kyle Lewis now is brought down a meter, Cowboys side of halfway. So Manly, they're just going inch by inch at the moment. Freeburn is driven backwards in a great tackle there. So they're going to have to punt here, the Warringah Sea Eagles, and I think that Chas Dingo might have a chance finally to get into the game and I think that's who they've kicked to. Is he going to clean it up? He does. Chaz Dingo on the run back. What can he do? Straight past one, but KCK wraps him up. And yeah, Dingo was at Manly for a very long time. Maybe they've just got his number here tonight.
Yeah, Dingo has played with a lot of these Manly boys, KCK and Matt Harris, definitely over the years. And ever since he's come over to the Cowboys, he's had a little bit of trouble finding that form that's seen him both as New South Wales fullback and Australian fullback. If they can get the ball to him more often, though, I reckon Dingo, he might be one of the ones to turn this game back in the Cowboys' favour.
Yeah, it's almost like the last time he was at Manly was when they had 3 platinums. Now here they are again, back with 3 platinums. So slot Dingo into that team, and I'm sure he'd perform just as well as he was when he was back at Manly. Anyway, now Jemison's going to have the kicking duties, and very well done from him. Just bombs it downfield to Shannon Freeburn. Bomb in terms of distance, not in terms of actual kick type. It was a punt, in fact. Anyway, Freeburn brought it down on the 20-metre line, and going set for set here, both teams. I think the first team to crack could be the one that concedes points. As Creed Alex Chapman, he found a crack, exploded it, turned it into a ravine. He's gone a long way downfield there. Creed Alex Chapman brought it down on the 20-metre line. And so Manly, give them an inch, they'll take a mile here. They're in the red zone now, 20 out from the line. Cruz Bontoff, was that a dummy? I'm not 100% sure what that was.
It was a dummy behind an offside player, so not really who you want to try to dummy around, but he doesn't stuff it up. They might get a kick off at the end of this if we're lucky.
Yeah, I think the only dummy in that play was Cruz Bontoff. The offside player wasn't even looking at him when he threw that one. But now he's going to have a chance to kick here, and instead, no, he goes to Jimmy Ralph, and he gets a bump off. Is he going to push for the line here, Jimmy Ralph? Wow, brought down a metre out from the line, but once again, their kicking game is just not there for either team at the moment.
No, and I reckon Jimmy probably wishes he had an extra 2 inches there, because if he did, he'd be over, and it would be a very different ball game. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, they would love to take the lead just there as Tyreek Hamilton was brought down, and they had a good chance. Creed Alex Chapman had an absolute monster run, especially for a right second row. Found the space and kept going, but instead now it's the Cowboys working out from their half. Harris goes to Engo, and he's going to be brought down on that favoured logo we spoke about earlier, TBC Live, our favourite sponsor. Instead now, it's the Cowboys. They go to Carl. He's had a lot of touches this game, and I was about to say that. I want to see him run more, less passing, more running, but it means he's going to be out of commission here for the kick, so they might look to Marshall. And that's exactly where they go. And could be a 40-20 here, but I think the wing is back. He is. Dom Young takes it. Winds up here, Dom Young. And wow, a full head of steam. And he just got pushed backwards instantly.
And again, he's got some good form to him, but he's a rookie winger. So sometimes it's a bit tricky for him to get around some of those really strong centre defenders, particularly those centre defenders.
Get
that in here.
Yeah, I love that. Daniel Engo got the hit stick out there. Very well done from him. And it means that the Cowboys have a chance here. And I spoke earlier about who could find the first crack in the opposition's armour. Maybe the Cowboys have found one here as Tyreek Hamilton gets it. And yeah, that's not good from him. Just push backwards there and a big tackle there from 2 Cowboys defenders. But it's still only the 3rd tackle here. Jamison goes out to Marshall. Where's Dingo? Can someone please give him the ball in the red zone? Jamison brought down 12 metres out from the line. They look left to Cowboys. That's where they go. Engo met by Matt Harris, 10 metres out from the line. So a full set in the Cowboys half, and Dingo didn't touch it once. Maybe that's emblematic of where the problems are coming from. As now Carl bombs it. Are we going to get a little bat back here? We are. He goes to Dingo, but some great defence. He's going to go over anyway, I think, Dingo. He scores, or he turned on his back. Well, the 3rd defender got around the legs, and that's a great defensive effort from Manly there.
Oh, I was just about to say, how nice is it for the Cowboys to have Engo to come on as your number 17 and provide some of that punch early in the second half there, Snicker?
Yeah, 100% right. He's a very good player to only be playing 19 minutes a game, and I think that just symbolises how strong this Cowboys fullback is. They have Blake Harris at lock now, so it means other players get less minutes. Of course, Simon Hunt into that 12 is a nice little run from Dom Young. But yeah, it means players like Engo and I think Jordan Williams as well both only get 19 minutes. So many mouths to feed here in this Cowboys forward pack, and perhaps that sort of team building aspect where all their strength is in the forwards. They only get to play 90 minutes could be a reason as to why they're towards the bottom of the ladder. Do you reckon that's a viable idea, or am I reading too much into that?
It's hard to say. We've got, there's a reason why the Allison position off the bench is the Allison position, because it worked so well for so long. or for Allison. But on the other hand, you kind of want your strike players on the field for as much as possible. It's why you don't have a Platinum come off the bench for 18 minutes. It can be a double-edged sword.
Yeah, and of course the other half of that story is if all your golds are on the bench, then your outside backs, apart from Dingo, of course, they're going to be rookies and bronze, and maybe a bit of team competition issues for the Cowboys. But one thing's for sure, since they put Harris into that lock jersey, they have looked very, very good with the ball. So that could be the silver bullet they've been looking for. Is Cahill gets a nice kick in. Finally, they get it into their set, but unfortunately, it's a bomb. And Dom Young finds a bit of space here. Dom Young eventually brought down by Chaz Dingo. So he heard what you said about rookie wingers, Mac, and he's decided he's going to have a bit of a crack.
And that's good. What we need from the SRL rookies is people who can take on some, not criticism so much, but some feedback here and there and use that to elevate the game.
Anyone in particular you're thinking of there?
Not anyone in particular. There's so many movers and shakers in the SRL, and what really needs to happen is some of these boys standing up and putting their hand up to be leaders of the future, because a couple of these old boys, they're going to be retiring very soon, and we need some young blood to fill our ranks of the captains and vice captains.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, new ideas, all that kind of stuff. Very good for the SRL. But back to this game as Bontoff gets a nice grubber and picked up by Jordan Marshall. And did I just see a well-executed attacking kick from one of these teams here?
Not just a well-executed one, but also a well-cleaned-up one. So it looks like both teams, 60 minutes in, have finally started playing A-grade footy.
Yeah, they've decided at 12-all they want to have a crack. And yeah, why leave it to the last 10 minutes when you can only leave it to the last 20, which is what both these guys have done. Is now Lucas Dukes gets a nice little line break. Oh, he gets close to the sideline. Might have seen some KFC on the sideline. Wanted to get a box, but he was brought down in the field of play eventually. As now he goes to Engo, and boom, Engo straight past one. I think it was Jimmy Ralph, who's only just getting back into the defensive line now. He's put the Cowboys in possession for a big kick here, and they go to Carl, and he puts up a bomb. Here we go. Haven't seen one of these all night. But unfortunately, Mark Iron takes it. That was very well positioned. He goes past Dingo here, Iron, as well. The fresh player on the field making things happen. And so that's two good kicks in a row. Maybe the tide's turned. Maybe we're about to see 20 minutes of masterful football for both of these teams.
Well, we've just had our prop interchanges happening, so we've got some big boys back on the field. That might be enough to change the edge.
Yeah, and KCK says forget about the big boys. I'm still here, and he makes a nice little line break. So 30 metres out from the line now on the third tackle. They're getting into a good position. And now Mobbs is straight through. Mobbs wants a double, and he's going to get one.
How is that for a captain's knock tonight? He sees his team isn't really getting anywhere, and he goes, give the ball to me, pin the ears back. I may only be a prop, but I'm a prop with a mission, and over he goes for a double.
Yeah, the Mobs are straight through a big hole there, and it's just back to regular service. We saw this all first half in the first 20 minutes. Mobs and Parche run amok, and once again, back on the field. And I think that was his first touch back on the field, straight under the black dot.
And now we've got, less than 18 minutes now. Probably not going to get to where my bet is, Snicko, but we're definitely in that sweating period for both captains of these teams.
Yeah, that enjoyment period, I think we call it, where the heart rate rises and you lean forward in your seat a little bit when you're watching. Manly will be hoping they can score another one here and just put this game to bed, but the Cowboys, of course, they're still right in this. A one-score game with 18 minutes to go. We've seen tries scored in the last minute of games, not in the last 18 minutes. So all these home fans, no one's leaving. Big finish on our hands.
And I suppose you'd know best, Snicko, having won and lost by golden point here and there. It is definitely not something that's good on the old ticker there, is it?
Oh, what's life without a bit of excitement? As Harris gets a nice little fend off there. He's only got 3 minutes left in his stint, so he'll be looking to make an impact. But anyway, out to Bontoff. Oh, a little inside here. No, just the outside. Kyle Lewis decides not to throw the inside ball, and the Cowboys read it. And Kyle Lewis called the audible, played his own play, and picked off an extra 30 metres. So great work there from the veteran halfback. And now Bontoff gets it. He's going to be brought down well inside the Cowboys half now. And danger sign starting to ring here for the Cowboys as Damien Lockie goes for a run. Just outside that sort of danger period, I reckon, here, the Manly, they're just not going to quite be close enough to attack, and that's why they put in that punt down to Lenny Phillips, and Bontoff chases his own kick, and I think that's one of the hallmarks of the good half day, Mac. When they kick, they can get there on the kick chase and make that tackle. That makes a big difference in this game.
Definitely, particularly with the kicking game we've seen tonight. And if the Sea Eagles, they want to make sure they win tonight, they need to keep the Cowboys, well, definitely not in their half, because it looks like they'll at least get over the 50, but as well down here as possible to win that field position game.
Yeah, of course, you can't score if you're in your own half, and that's what Manly, they've just about done it here. They'll get out of their half just on that last tackle, but nonetheless, a good defensive set from Manly. It's going to force the Cowboys into a punt kick here and bring in these dangerous outside backs that Manly have, and it looks like KCK could be getting a run here. That's exactly who takes it. He goes through a nice little lane there, but eventually it closes on him. Brought down 28 metres out from his line. So Manly, they're starting to cook here. As now Anderson gets a break, and this is looking very dangerous for the Cowboys. We saw in the first half the ability for Manly just to make multiple line breaks in a row. KCK out of position. If they get a line break here, it could be fatal, and that's what Lewis does. He's going to go straight down the middle, eventually breaks a tackle. I was about to say brought down, but breaks a tackle instead. And yeah, Manly really compounding line breaks here and just catching Dingo out of position over and over as Pache sharks a catch there. Just took it straight out of Mobs' hands. Brought down very close to the line. They go to Lewis again. He's going to push for the line here. I don't think he's going to get there, no. So it'll be out to Bontoff to kick. We see him running to the right side of the ruck. And that's where they go. Bontoff, he's just going to score. Forget the kick. He does it himself.
That might be it. Considering how hard it has been to come by points, there's Bontoff doing a tricky little run behind the ruck play and straight over. No Cowboy even getting close to stopping him.
Yeah, he just went straight up against his opposite, Jack Carl, and said, halves, we're not good at tackling, so I know exactly where I'm going to run here. And just good eyes up plays from him. Stepped around the back, created the overlap and straight over. And I think that, yeah, that could just be it here for the Cowboys. Unless we see something freaky. We know they have it in them. They did it to the Warriors a couple of weeks ago, but Manly at the moment, they're a different beast to what that Warriors outfit was. And I'm starting to fear for the Cowboys' chances of making the finals this season.
And we should also start talking about that spoon chance as well, because for and against could very much decide which team takes the spoon off the Panthers this year. So the Cowboys, if they can't win it tonight, they need to make sure that they get some more points back or even keep the deficit to this. Otherwise, things become mathematical.
Yeah, and we don't want that as Justin Monkey cleans one up there. So Manly have literally thrown away the ball there. And so the Cowboys are back in attacking territory, and they get a try here. The game's straight back on. As Pretlove is back on the field, he's going to be pushed backwards there and a good tackle. Manly goal line defense has been sublime tonight, and they're going to want to keep that as Tariq Hamilton pushes forward. The Cowboys have had a whole lot of attack for only 12 points, and one of them was a runaway try. So, Carr was over. No, Dingo over instead.
There he is.
There he is. We wanted to see him get the ball in the red zone, and that's exactly why. A nice little pass there from the vice. Sorry, not the vice captain, but a long-time member of the leadership group, Jack Carhill, goes to Chaz Dingo. He just stood up Beckman and gets a very, very easy try.
Yeah, we've been wanting him all night to get the ball, and he finally gets the ball, and look, he's going to slot his own kick over. So we're about to have 10 minutes left, and it is anybody's game so far, Snicker.
Yep, 100%. You got to think Dingo will slot this, and we'll hold our breath as he does so. Yep, a nice little kick there from Chaz Dingo to take this back to a one-score game. Not even the fist bump. We're not in fist bump territory yet. He just jogs it back. Job's not done. As Carl Lewis is going to kick us off here. And I think Manly have got to be disappointed with that. A knock-on of literally the first play off the kickoff. Yeah, it's just not something that you ever want to see. No. Shades of Stace to Pace a couple of rounds ago, Mac.
Yeah. Again, I don't want to steal your words or anything, Snicko, but how often have we seen the game change hands once or twice in this final 10 minutes? We were talking about how painful those final minutes are on those captains. Both of these teams are definitely going to be riding this last 10 minutes.
Yeah, not just the captains, all 17 players that are watching from both teams. They all want the win, and all you can do is sit back and watch as Tariq Hamilton goes to Tom Jamison. Manly, of course, still in the box seat. All they have to do is defend for 10 minutes, and they'll take home a win on the flight home back to Manly. But the Cowboys, they want one for their home fans. They want one for their season. They want to say our season's not done yet. Pull the fork out of us. We're not done, as Kyle just goes absolutely shockingly across to Lucas Deuce. I'm not sure what's happened to his kicking game here tonight, but there's a lot of jokes about his kicking game, but I don't think it's usually quite this bad. I think he just had an off night, and if he can sort of change that around the last couple of minutes, that could be vital in putting the Cowboys back in the lead.
8 minutes left, and the Cowboys, they've got it on their 30-meter mark. They would be relishing this, because if they can make a couple good line breaks, they can possibly put a kick in or not at the end of this set.
Yeah, as Buckingham gets out of half, and yeah, if they can just get even just a repeat set, if they can get a line drop out or something, could be big for this game. As Chapman Kenny pops up on the short side, he's brought down on those tram marks, 10 metres in from the sideline. Now they go Bontoff out to Damien Lockie. He's back on the field as a prop, and he just sort of hits and sticks there, finds his front just on the Cowboy side of halfway. So a kick return here could be deadly. Instead, that's somehow not an accidental offside, and Backman's going to go for a gallop. He offloads to Ollie Partche, and I suppose no harm, no foul, with Cowboys getting the ball inside that Manly half.
And we got 6 minutes, so this is definitely possible for the Cowboys to snatch victory from defeat here and set us up for a golden point try. First round of this. Ooh, do we say upset round yet, Snicko?
No, we say first game of a very enthralling round as Jamison gets a nice little line break there. He's going to put him in good territory here. Inside border, Jordan Marshall, but he's wrapped up in a great tackle there. 9 metres out from their line, the Cowboys. They look left. That's where they go. Jake Scott back on the field. First time he's touched it since he's been back on. Can he get a try here? Jake Scott.
Oh.
Very nice try. Great Scott, they say, as he crashes over that line. A hometown favourite. And he's just about leveled this game here for the Cowboys.
And again, here we go. As long as this kick goes over, we are in field goal territory, and a very, very nervous wait for both of these captains. Both rookie captains, I should say, as well.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see if Blake Harris can slot this. Chaz Dingo, can slot this. You've got to think he will. Seen easier kicks made down at my local under-6s games, but funny things do happen in the SRL.
And
that
was close. There it is.
Got to be closer. There's the fist time. That's what I wanted last time. I love to see it from the Cowboys. They're back in this game.
And what are we? Just over 5 minutes. So this is going to be
field goal straight away.
Very close. The Cowboys, they need to get to the end of their set, and they can't be throwing it away like some of the ball playing we've seen here tonight, particularly in the second half.
Yeah, any kind of error in this period will be absolutely lethal from either team as Jake Scott backs up his try with a nice run there. And I just worry for the Cowboys. Who's going to kick their field goal? Is it going to be Carl? Because his kicking game has not been great here tonight. No! Jamison cleans up what would have been a calamity for the Cowboys. Carl passed to someone who just got absolutely rocked off the ball, but instead the Cowboys come up with it. As now Monkey gets it. Do they look at a 40-20? No, I think we're a tackle early, which could actually be good for the Cowboys here. As they go left now to Simon Hunt. He goes to Pretlove. And they're just not getting the meters they need here for a field goal. But if they can get a good punt away, they might be able to stop Manly from getting a field goal in reverse as Tyreek Hamilton is brought down on the 40-metre line. Unless someone's got the boot, the biggest boot we've seen in the SRL, we're going to look at a punt. It's Monkey who does so. He goes downfield to Dom Young. And a big run here from Dom Young could set their team up. But instead, he just sort of freaks out everyone there. Goes past Chaz Dingo. Dom Young's going for a run here. Jack Carl brings him down. Jordan Marshall brings him down eventually. But that could put him in field position. Some funny things happening there. Not 100% sure why everyone stopped, but Dom Young definitely took advantage of it. Now as Beckman plays it in the Cowboys half, starting to look dangerous here for the Cowboys. A pass out to Kyle Lewis. I would have liked to see Chapman Kenny run there, but instead, he surprises everyone with some ball playing. Third tackle here. 2 good runs will put him in field goal territory, and they go inside. There it is from Chapman Kenny. And the offload goes to Kyle Lewis. He's brought down, so he's out of commission for the kick, but it could be Bontoff. Is that where they go? They go to Ollie Partche. He goes out to Beckman. Oh, no, they might be too close here. The Seagulls, they're shaping up. Bontoff sets himself deep. That's where they go. And he absolutely nails it. Cruz Bontoff, ice in his veins. A minute and a half left in this game, and he's put Manly up by 1 point.
I thought for a second there Bontoff was just going to boot it high in the air, and I think the Cowboys, they probably thought the same thing because the defence there, they just weren't quick enough to race up on Bontoff.
Yeah, one of the players, I'd have to have a look and see who it was, put on some good pressure, but unfortunately, some good experience from he's not a rookie anymore, but he hasn't been around for a long time. The sophomore, would you call it? I'm not sure. Anyway, good experience from him to send himself nice and deep so that no one could touch him. And now, a minute left in this game, you don't think the Cowboys will touch the ball. And Yeah, it's a hard way to lose. The field goal is a very, very hard way to lose.
And what? If the Sea Eagles, if they can get a line break here, they might be trying to add in injury to insult here. So the Cowboys, they've done their job tonight. They've tried as hard as they possibly could, and they've probably done better against this Manly side than any other team has in the second half of this season. It just hasn't been enough.
Yeah, they stayed strong for literally 78.5 minutes, but unfortunately in the end, it wasn't quite enough as this Manly behemoth rolls on. That'll lock in their top 4 spot, potentially a top 2, depending on other results. We'll have to wait and see how these games go. But it just begs the question, will this Manly team lose again?
Ooh, well, looking
I think so.
forward to the... Well, they've got to. No one can... I'm about to say no one can go
Win
undefeated.
forever.
We are, of course, talking about a Manly side who went undefeated for the record. Having said that, next week, Manly, they're up against the Titans. After the Titans, they've got the Dolphins, so good luck there, Snicko. The Sharks, and then they've got the Storm. So it's going to be a bit of a mixed bag for them for the rest of the season. But there are a couple of teams there who should really be able to give them a challenge.
Yeah, not an easy run home there for Manly. You'd have to say 3 top 8 teams, 2 top 4 teams. Anyway, we'll flick back to this game, and you can see just how even it was. 52 to 48% possession. Mixed tackles, just about the same. Manly had 12 extra line breaks, which is pretty big, considering they only won by 1 point. As we flick over to some individual stats quickly. And Blake Harris, a monster, 323 meters. Of course, he did 150 meters. I think I called it in literally 2 minutes. So that's always going to buff those stats immensely. Pack it on with 26 tackles, 7 line breaks is pretty big from him. And you can see exactly why they've put him in that lock role. And then Dingo, only 129 meters. So Jemison, of course, the hooker, will disregard his run meters. But to go from 323 to 129 is the next highest. I think some forwards from the Cowboys just needed to sort of rack up some higher numbers if they were really going to compete with this Manly side.
Now, the question has to be there, Snicko. This late move with Blake Harris to the lock, is this too late in the season for him to be in contention for lock of the season?
Yes, 100%. He's going to have, 5 games of lock compared to the 15 that every other team has?
5 or so games, I figured Carl Lewis was at the front of the run meters for the Sea Eagles. He was breaking lines more than any other Manly player tonight.
Yeah, 100%, especially in the first half. He was immense. Dom Young, a nice 180 meters, including the run right before the field goal. So a good game from the rookie. Beckman, 143 run meters with only 3 line breaks. So like we mentioned during the call, he just gets his work done without a fuss, along with 15 tackles. Buckingham, 25 tackles, always big, as did Creed Alex Chapman in that right second row, 24 tackles. But that'll be all from us tonight. A couple of big games coming up later on tonight with someone next, not 100% sure who, but Dolphins Finns for Monday Night Football. It's been me and AMAC in the box. A pleasure as always. I will see everyone later.